Hello, how you doing? So, I just got through watching The Passion of Christ. It's Passover, 2023. Um, so, I'll leave a link in the description box that links you to my playlist of the holidays, and you can scroll down to this part that has the videos on the Passover. This will be one of the videos there, and you can see the one that it's my ceremony. You can see what I do. I go over what the different things are, that happened that night when Jesus, Yahushua, took the sacrament with his disciples, and then went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and then was taken into custody, and then everything that happened between then and when he was crucified by noon the next day on the Passover. That's all happens on the movie, The Passion. So I read everything that happens in the story in the Bible up to the movie, and then I watch the movie to see the last part of it. I just finished the movie, and I just wanted to kind of go over what that's like. The lifestyle of the Yansway, where the Passover is the main holiday. Jah, for the Yansway, we see Jah is like it's a complicated thing, God, Jah, like we would say. There's like I have my song, Jah Part 1, Jah Part 2, Jah Part 3. Part 1 is the one about Mother Mary. Part 2 is the one about called the Son of Man, about Yahushua, Jesus. And Part 3 about Haile Selassie. And each one's a different component, And the Passover lamb is Jesus, Yahushua. That's who we're remembering today. But it's all connected, isn't it? But it's just it's an interesting experience, because like this year was a difficult year because I'm transgender. Like the whole world has been like very cruel to transgender people, especially Christians, the way Christians have the words that the Christians of especially the United States have, the words they have said, the teachings they have taught, the messages they've had concerning transgender people has been stuff that the real Jesus definitely would have not participated in any of those thoughts or beliefs by a long ways. You'd have to be a complete moron to think that Jesus would put a stamp of approval on any of that stuff that they've said. But nonetheless, even as a transgender person, I've watched all these videos by all these atheists, and atheists, they can teach it. I recommend it. I recommend theists, someone that has some kind of a theology. I have a theology. The Yansway is a theology. I wouldn't call it a religion, but I couldn't deny that it's not a theology. Listen, I recommend you listen to atheists. They can teach you a lot. You don't have to. It doesn't mean you're an atheist. It doesn't mean you're going to become an atheist. Their perspective is not evil or satanic. There's a lot to learn from someone that's trying to see what reality has to say about things, and you can learn that the Bible is not the Word of God. By now everybody should know that. The only reason someone would believe the Bible is the Word of Jah would be someone that doesn't really care what the truth is. There's ample evidence that that's not the case. We know that's not the case. There's just no reason to. And the people that are like the least educated about the Bible are the preachers and the ones up on the pulpits and the ones that claim to be the experts and have whole congregations listening to them. Those people don't know anything about the Kabbalah, the Hebrew, the history, that like, the witch trials, and just on and on and on and on and on. There's so much information to learn, and the more you learn about reality, the more you know those people that like, look, a pentagram, therefore that person's satanic. Just like the conclusions they draw are preposterous. But nonetheless, all through the year, as I learned that more and more deeply, have been moments where a part of me has wanted to, like in the story of the Passover, his closest followers denied him out of fear and everything, and there wasn't moments of fear where I was tempted to deny Yahshua, but there were moments where I wanted to kind of be with everybody else in this world I live in, and just deny the whole thing, all the evil that's come from Christianity, all the murders and all the horrible things that's happened in the name of Christianity. Nowadays the youth are like, why would you even, like, youth that I love and care about, when they find out that I pray to Jesus and Mary and these things, are like, oh, why? They don't get why. Why would you even bother with that stuff? All the evil that's come from it and everything, and which is why I would make videos like this, like Jesus said, let your light shine. It's that kind of a thing, Sometimes, it is bad to be like, ye hypocrites, making crying and praying in front of everyone for attention. That kind of thing is bad, but in this time, hopefully my life will be a testimony of someone that had plenty reason to deny these things, but didn't still, and held on to it to the end. Always updating and modernizing things, something I learned from Haile Selassie, the need to, the whole message of Haile Selassie is that things need to be modernized, that things have been corrupted for power struggle, and that includes the story of Jesus. What's interesting about the story of Jesus is not, Jesus doesn't tell any of the story of Jesus. It's other people telling you his story, and then all the translations and all the details in that. We'll never know what Jesus really said or anything, but nonetheless, the story, you can understand the story. You get there is something being taught there that is powerful, and it's real, and I suppose that same story could be taught in many other places. You wouldn't need to be I'm not a Christian. I'm a witch. I don't believe the same things as them. It's inaccurate. It's like, there's no reason for me or anyone to call me a Christian, because I'm not. I don't believe the same things those people do. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's not my job to decide what other people should and shouldn't do. But, I think that we're all going through that, like, to what degree do we deny these things, and all year I've known that I was gonna at one point take the Passover supper, because part of the Passover supper is that if you take unworthily, ye shall surely die. So I've known that all like those moments where I'm tempted like that. A part of me reminds myself, says, hey, watch what you say, watch what you do, because when it's April again next, in the upcoming year, you're going to have to partake of the Last Supper, of the Passover supper again, and are you going to feel guilty because you denied Jesus and you were someone else, or were you genuine all year to who you say you are on the Passover? So, and of course, it's the Hebrew calendar starts over. It's like a New Year's time. It's a time, and the same. It's either the previous verse or the same verse that says that you have to partake worthily. It says it's a time to examine yourself. It is. It's like a New Year's resolution time. It's a time to examine yourself, to to look at it. If I stayed true to who I'm saying I am right now, or am I someone else right now when I'm taking the supper, or am I the same person all year long? You know, and keeping one with it, and making sure that, fine tuning each year as you begin. Now I've already done it. Now I won't do this again till next year. So now I need to organize my thoughts and my beliefs. What do I believe, and everything, and organize myself so I can make it through another year, and be and still be, you won't be the same person, but be the person that I say that I am when I take the supper the next year, so that I'm genuine to who I say I am. And so it's quite an experience. It's a fantastic holiday. And just all the symbols and everything, they're the perfect symbols to review, to keep yourself in check. The youth wonder why. Well, that's part of it too. Like, why does it matter? Well, you just have to figure it out for yourself, but that's the depth, the profound depth of the whole thing.